Hello, I'm Sam Neffendorf from Freedom Here and Now, and today I'm going to show you in this video how to use the basic recipe of EFT or emotional freedom techniques, and then also after that a simple process that you can use in your day-to-day life to help you deal with simple issues such as headaches that may come about. So before we start, I'd just like to point out that EFT is still considered an experimental process. Please take full responsibility for your health, and if you try any of these techniques on your own, and consult a qualified practitioner if you experience anything unexpected, unusual or difficult. Okay, so now with that said, I'd now like to show you how to use the basic recipe in EFT. So the first thing that you do is identify whatever the problem is as specifically as you possibly can. I'll come on to that in a minute when I show you a specific process, but for now we'll just call it this problem. Then there's a range of different tapping points which correspond with acupuncture points around your upper body and face, which we use to connect to the meridian energy system and help to move the emotional energy through your body while focusing on a specific problem. So it's a very simple process, and a basic round of EFT would look something like this. So starting on your hand, this is known as the karate chop point. Start tapping either side, doesn't matter if you go left or right. You've got equal meridian lines going down both sides of your body. So just tapping on the karate chop point, you use a setup phrase. So even though I have this problem, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this problem, I love and accept myself. Can feel a bit weird saying that when you first start out, but it's important to say something along those lines to communicate with your subconscious. Even though I have this problem, I love and accept myself. Okay, so then you start on an actual round of EFT, and you just focus on the problem that you're saying, so whatever the reminder phrase is. So this problem, 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 this problem. Across the wrist, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. And take a deep breath. Okay, so that's a round of EFT. Now my hands aren't that big in real life, I can assure you. See, normal sized hands. So what have we actually done there? Okay, so the setup phrase, where you focus in and tune in on the issue that you wish to deal with, and you can either say it 3 times, which is the traditional way of doing it with EFT, or just one time if you're already feeling pretty focused on the problem. You know exactly what it is, and it's already perhaps causing you some pain, so you're pretty much aware of what it is. So something like a headache, you could do that. Another point to notice is that the tapping that I was doing is actually very light. You see some people tapping away like that, and it's not necessary. I think it's better to tap very lightly, because as well as the kinesthetic or touch feeling that you've got from tapping against your skin, you can also more effectively tune into the electromagnetic feeling, or feeling of energy between your finger and whichever point that you're working on. So for me, light tapping is better. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a specific process. This is quite a simple basic EFT process that you can use for dealing with emotions or feelings that you've got in your body anywhere. So I'm just going to give you the example that if I had a headache. So first thing that you need to do is try and make the setup phrase and the reminder phrase that you're going to use as specific as possible. So start tapping gently on your karate chop point, and then just think about the headache or whatever the issue is. Maybe close your eyes for a second or two, try and scan and really try and come up with a good description of it. So in my case, the headache is, you try and get a location, things such as colour, if it's got a size, shape or anything like that. Anything that comes to mind when you're thinking of the feeling. So I've got a headache, it's an angry red colour, it's behind my left eye, it's like an arrow, and that would be enough. That sort of information would be enough. You could also use things such as, if it was an animal, what sort of animal would it be? Does it have a personality? Those sorts of things. You can really get quite creative to become as specific as possible with the issue. Then, a very important thing to do is give yourself a benchmark to test against to see if things are improving. So use a scale which is known as the SUDS scale, which stands for Subjective Units of Distress. So 0 being nothing, there's nothing there, 10 being the worst thing ever, your head's about to explode or something like that. So in this case, close my eyes again, I've got this red arrow-like headache behind my left eye, and it's about an 8 out of 10. So then I'd say something like, even though I have this angry red arrow behind my eye, I love and accept myself. This angry red arrow, angry red arrow, this angry red arrow, this angry red arrow, angry red arrow, angry red arrow, behind my eye, this 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 angry red arrow, behind my eye. And you could continue tapping another round if you wanted to, or at this point, or any point as you're going. If you notice anything shift, take a deep breath, and still tapping on your karate chop point, just check in, close your eyes, or keep them open if you want, and just see if anything's changed. Okay, so it's not so angry anymore, it's definitely lighter, it's like more like a fuzzy pink blob, still behind my left eye, and it's probably about a 4 or 5, call it a 5 out of 10. Okay, so then you continue tapping, even though I've still got this headache behind my left eye, but now it's fuzzy pink and lighter. I love and accept myself. It's fuzzy pink headache behind my left eye. This fuzzy pink headache behind my left eye. This fuzzy pink headache behind my left eye. Fuzzy pink headache. 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 Behind my left eye. Take a deep breath. Okay, so checking again, and now I can feel that it's much lighter now and the headache is just a fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. Doesn't have a colour anymore. We give it a score of 2 out of 10. So might as well get it down to 0 if I can. So, even though I've still got a tiny bit of this fuzzy cloud across the front of my head, I love and accept myself. This tiny bit of a fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. This tiny bit of a fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. This tiny bit of a fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. This tiny bit of fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. This tiny bit of fuzzy cloud across the front of my head. Take a deep breath. Check in, and the headache seems to have gone to be at a point where it's really not inconveniencing me anymore. Now, 3 rounds, that's very quick to give you an idea of how chasing the pain can work. It can be very interesting if you're chasing, for example, pain in the leg. It can move all the way around. You can chase the pain all around the body. The other thing that can come up, which is always important to note, is if any images or words come into your mind while you're doing this, then it could be that whatever the issue is has got an attachment to whatever that situation that comes into your mind is. So you might be, if it was a headache, you might suddenly think back to a stressful time at work in the last couple of weeks, and then you've got something else to work on. So if that did happen, just an example would be, even though I've got this fuzzy red headache, when I think back to that meeting at work where I looked like an idiot, I love and accept myself. That meeting at work where I looked like an idiot, where I looked like an idiot, where I looked like an idiot, made me feel bad, made me feel stressed. It's stress from that headache. Stress gave me a headache. Headache, stress. Headache, stress. Headache, stress. Headache, stress. Stress from a headache. Stress that gave me a headache. That headache at work. And then take a deep breath. Now that was just an example, and you can try chasing emotions and things like that around as well. But sometimes you won't ask yourself the questions that you need to in order to deal with things. And if that is the case, then you've got various options. Learn more EFT or consult an experienced practitioner who'll be able to work with you and ask you the specific questions to really get to the roots of your problems and just effectively help you to dissolve the emotional issues so that you can get on with your life. So that's me, Sam Neffendorf, Freedom Here and Now. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again.